Okay, hello, welcome. My name is Johnny Lippiett and I'm coming at you from Brooklyn, New York, and lived in New Zealand for 10 years, originally from London. And I thought what the internet needs more than anything is another saxophone teaching video, right? Okay, probably not, but I was recently hanging out with a good friend of mine in London, wonderful saxophone player, Mr. Mornington Lockett. If you don't know him, you should check him out because he is a master saxophone player and one of the finest musicians of his generation. And he was telling me that perhaps a foray into the world of internet education is not to be slept on. So, with any further ado, I thought it was time to make my own YouTube video. Now, like most of you guys, I'm a saxophone nerd. We can talk about anything you want, and I can wax lyrical till the cows come home on reeds, mouthpieces, ligatures, saxophones, straps, music, styles, genres. I love it all, right? But it is like train spotting, isn't it? We've got to remember, more people are interested in Star Trek than jazz saxophone. But there was an area that Mornington suggested that was a little underserved on the internet. And this is what I want to talk to you today about, which is about saxophone articulation, and especially using the tongue to achieve ghosting and the ghost note effect that we hear a lot of saxophone players do. Now, we know with articulation, that is what makes us sound unique, right? Every saxophone player articulates differently, just as we all speak differently. We've all got different talking voices. We all sound different, we all have different vocal cavities, different oral chambers, different tongue shapes, and that's why, you know, when you listen to John Coltrane, it's Coltrane, or Sonny Rollins, or Jackie McLean, or Dexter Gordon, Stan Getz, Ben Webster, Paul Gonzalez, any myriad of players, you know who it is. One of the reasons is not only their sound, but their articulation, okay? Now, I'm going to come at it from a slightly different angle, because obviously in classical saxophone, and a lot of articulation studies, we have traditional tongue and slur. But one thing that always intrigued me was when I would hear saxophone players essentially swallowing notes, okay? The ghosting of notes, if you will. And often you would see a transcription and you'd see someone's line and then it would have the X's on where the note would be. So the note wasn't written, it was just an X on the stave. And I thought, ooh, that's interesting. I wonder what that is. Now, just to put this out there, I have everything I'm going to talk about today on a nice PDF sheet here, Articulation Studies. And if you go to my website, which is johnnylippiett.com, there's a link below, you can download that. Go to the saxophone resources section, it's the first one at the top, you can just print it out. And it will make a lot more sense if you're not sure about what I'm talking about here. I'll try and go slowly, and hopefully it's not over anyone's head. But please drop me a line, ask any questions you want, and I'll try and explain it as succinctly as I can. Now, just to preface all of this, and we'll do some playing in a minute, I promise, there's no wrong or right, okay? With the saxophone, it's really important that we understand this. The only right way is the way that's right for you, okay? Everyone's idea of a melodic line is totally different, isn't it? If you ask Paul Desmond about melody, he will give you a very different answer to Eric Dolphy, okay? I have interviews with Pharoah Sanders where he says he has over 500 mouthpieces, and I have interviews with Dexter Gordon, he says he only ever had 2 mouthpieces, right? Go figure, okay? Some people are into mouthpieces, other people couldn't care less, okay? Maybe in another video I can really start waxing lyrical about mouthpieces, but that will put you all to sleep, I promise. Reeds, okay? Take reeds. There's videos of George Garzone saying, oh, just get a reed, take it out of the box, put it on the mouthpiece and play. Anything else is rubbish. There's videos of Dave Sanborn saying the neurosis he goes through for each and every reed, soaking it in water and filing it, and it just the utter end of the extreme. So no wrong, no right. Garzone's great, Sanborn's great. Okay, so much with what I'm going to talk to you about today, I'm not for a minute saying this is right. All I'm saying is it's right for me, and it helped me to understand some of these things about using the tongue in terms of swallowing notes and ghosting notes on the saxophone. Now, it's hoped that you've got a basic idea of playing, and if you're a complete beginner, maybe starting just to get your tongue working a little bit is a good place to start. But let's just assume that we are able to take, say, a G, and we can tongue it fairly consistently, like okay, da 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 da. There's lots of ways you can tongue da da, do do, dee dee, da da, whatever's right for you and your mouth. I don't know. So for me, da seems to work pretty well. Da 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 seems to be quite consistent. Okay, so if we were to take a scale and we were to tongue each note of that scale, going da 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 da, and let's take a C bebop scale with the passing note of the major 7 flat 7, that one. Okay, and we tongue each one, we'd have okay, da 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 da. But what I want to try and do, and this is what I'm going to try and show you here, is getting this ghosting effect where we use the tongue on the underside of the reed to push up on the reed while the airstream's still going. Because when we're going da 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 da, we're stopping the airstream, aren't we? It's like having a hose of water and we're putting our hand over the end and it's stopping, and the sound is coming from the release of that. But with this technique, we get this. Okay, can you hear the difference? So the first is, and the second is, so the sound and the tone is consistent. Okay, now what I'm doing with that, it's kind of really hard to explain, and obviously I can't put a camera in my mouth, but what I can do is I'm using the side of my tongue to basically close up one side of the mouthpiece. I'm putting my tongue about there to push up on the reed so that the other side is still vibrating, so the sound's still sounding, but by pushing that up there, it's helping to mute the sound, okay? Like that, okay? Pushing that up like that. Now, it's something that you're going to have to get used to, and it took me a long time. It felt so unnatural to be able to play, keep the sound going. Okay, but hopefully you can hear what I'm working at there. Okay, so what I want to do now is give you some examples of how you could use this in an improvised line. We know that in, I guess, traditional bebop, right, the eighth notes are the rails with which we run on. Okay, but endless eighth notes can become a little bit boring. So, and that's, as we said, loads of players have their unique and identifiable styles because of the way they articulate eighth notes. Okay, when we listen to somebody just play endless eighth notes, it gets a little bit boring, because when we listen to loads of eighth notes, we know what we're going to get, right? Loads more eighth notes. But by learning to use the tongue to ghost these notes, we can start getting rhythms coming through these eighth note lines that help just to give it a bit of a pop and a crackle. Okay, so obviously I'm brilliant with internet technology, as you're going to be able to tell. In the future it'll be awesome. I'll have a new camera and everything, and what I'm going to do is show you this. Okay, so can you see I've got this here? It's just 4 eighth notes, da 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 da. So the rhythm you're going to hear is da 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 da. Okay, now if we play that bebop scale like we just did, okay, da 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 da. Okay, but now we're going to take this one, and what I've got here is again the 4 eighth notes, but I'm going to use my tongue to mute each one. So instead of getting da 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 da, I'm going to go for doo-dun, 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 doo-dun. So instead of da 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 da, the rhythm we're sort of hearing is da 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 da. We're only hearing those other notes, right? Okay. So have a listen to how this one sounds with the same scale. So we'd have. Okay. Doo-dun, 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 doo-dun. Okay, does that make sense? I hope so. It's not, if it's over your head, don't worry, go and get the download. But the main thing is to listen to players doing it. One great album that really twisted me on it was Stan Getz with the Oscar Peterson Trio. Stan Getz was great at doing this, and you'd often hear him giving that effect. Sonny Stitt, Gene Ammons, all of Coltrane, everyone, Jackie McLean. It's such a common thing, but I didn't know what it was, right? No one told me, and I'd read books about articulation, but I didn't understand this thing of ghosting these notes and utilizing the effect of the tongue on the underside of the reed to mute the note. So if we take the one we just did, doo-dun, 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 again. Okay, that was super slow to give you an idea. Okay, doo-dun, 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 doo. Now, also, it's worth mentioning that when we're dealing with eighth note lines, to try, and again, there's no right or wrong, it's whatever you think sounds right to your ears, but for my money, the Jamie Aebersold, shall we say, approach of do ba do ba do ba do ba dee ba da ba da, it's not really, I don't think, particularly accurate, and especially when the tempos get up a little bit, doo-dun, 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 doo, really, I think, fits the articulation a bit more. Maybe, right? Doo-dun, 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 doo. Okay? So when we get used to playing those two, we've already got two, the da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da and the doo-dun, 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 doo. Right? Okay? And then all we're going to look at is the permutations of mixing those up. So if we took this one, for example, which is 4/8 notes again, these are all just 4/8 note patterns, and here we've got da, da, do, and you can see every time I X the note, that's the muted ghost note, right? And the rhythm we would hear if we were doing this da da doo da da doo da da doo da da doo is da 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 da. Okay, so if we take da da doo dun, it's good to practice the phonetics of this as well, obviously, to get the tongue working. Sometimes it's one thing to have the concept of playing, but to be able to do it away from the horn, like all of this stuff, you know, it's all about the voice, right? It's all just singing, really. We only play the saxophone because we want to be singers who are frightened to sing, right? No, maybe. So getting used to singing da da doo da da doo da da doo da da doo. Okay, da da doo da da doo, right? The opposite of that would be this one. Do da da 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 do da do. Okay, so let's have a listen to how that one would sound. Do da da do da da. I'll do it slowly. so you can hear. Hopefully it'll sound all right, but it's always the way, isn't it? The teacher tries to show the students and it all goes horribly wrong. So we've got do, da, da. Okay, that was super slow to sort of give you the clue. It's better if we do it a bit faster. That was do, da, da. Okay, you got that one? Doodin da da, doodin da da, doodin da da, doodin da da, doodin da da. The other was da da doodin. So those are just the two. And if we look at the rhythm on that one again, can you see instead of just 4/8 notes, because we're ghosting that second eighth note, we basically get da 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 da, doodin da 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 da. Okay. So every time you ghost that note, even though it's still sounding, there's that subtle inflection on the rhythm, okay? Now let's look at this one. This is a good one here. And I only use the phonetic do, because it just helps me to get my tongue in position. It's got nothing to do with jazz dudes and being cool or anything. It just so happens that doodin. I guess it comes from the trumpet thing of doodle tonguing. Doodle, 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 which is how trumpet players articulate. So again, listening to trumpet players is a great way to get a good grasp on this. But if we look at this one here, doodin, da, doodin, da, doodin, da, doodin, da. We're ghosting those 2/8 notes in that group of 4, and the rhythm we're hearing there is da 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 da. Okay, do da do da. I'll try and do it slowly. Okay, do da do da do. We can kind of do it diaphragmatically as well by just not blowing as hard, but getting the tongue used to ghosting those notes is a very useful technique. I struggled for so long with it, and it was really helpful to be able to figure out exactly what these guys were doing, put it on the paper, and hear, and that one especially, do da do da do da do da. You get the and, don't you? The and of 2 and the and of 4 popping out. Do da do da do da do da. Cannonball would use that one a lot, I think. I mean, a bit exaggerating there, obviously, but you know, you get the idea. Then there's this one. Da 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 da, which is da 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 da, which would be the rhythm we would hear behind that one, right? Da 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 da. Okay, da 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 da. We're ghosting that 3rd 8th note. Okay, and then we've got this one. I mean, there's so many permutations, you can just make your own up, put them all together, and that's what will help give you your articulation. Let's take this one. Da 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 da. And again, every time on the tongue is where we're going to get the 8th notes ghosted. So the rhythm we're heard there is da 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 da. see. Hopefully it's making sense. And lastly, because I know you're probably all getting desperately bored now and ready for a break, let's just take this one, which is where we've slurred all the 4 together. We just tongue that first note and ghost the last 3. Doo-dun, 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 every time there's a that's the tongue on the underside of the reed, right? So then all we're hearing is the half note. Da, 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 doo-dun, 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 doo-dun. So we're ghosting those 3, okay? Okay, hopefully that makes sense. Hopefully it's not a complete, like, what is this guy going on about? He's a total loon. You might think it's a load of rubbish. Maybe it is. I don't know. Haters are going to hate. Whatever. There's a million ways to skin a cat. I know there's a lot of thought about not tonguing at all. I know George Garzone talks about keep the tongue way out of it, which is obviously a great idea. Get the time in the fingers. But I know I can't talk without using my tongue, and utilising the tongue to help swallow the notes on the horn is one of the beauties of being a saxophone player. It enables us to take melodies like, let's take the melody. Okay, but when we start swallowing it, we can get. Can you hear I'm swallowing that first bit? I'm not going. Can you hear how that's giving it that effect of swallowing it? Or like I didn't even really sound the E there. I was swallowing it, right? Can you see where we're going with this? And so that's just a little introductory lesson, if you will. My first adventures into internet YouTube saxophoning. And hopefully it was of some help to somebody. And if it was of no help to anyone, then there you go. We've got nothing to lose. I'm just hanging out here in Brooklyn on a nice Tuesday afternoon. It's a bit chilly outside, lovely and sunny though. But that's what helps me to get those lines to sort of swallow. Thank you very much for watching. Leave any comments below, anything you want. Maybe you want me to talk about something else. I will wax lyrical about anything, okay? So let me know. Hope you liked it. You've got to do a like or something. It's what my boy says. He plays video games and you have to like something below, whatever that means, I don't know. So just to sum up, again, we're getting the tongue on the reed. That's the name of the game, okay? And when we get that, it enables us to help ghost these notes, to swallow these notes. And by learning these articulations, when we're looking at transcriptions and we see an 8th note pattern where some of those notes have X's on, it helps us to be able to articulate them in a way that is authentic to the music, and it will help us realize why some players sound the way they do and others sound the way they do. No wrong or right. That's the beauty of music, right? If you ask Coleman Hawkins and you ask Archie Shepp and you ask Jan Garbarek, each one's got their own approach. Everyone has their own airstream. Everyone has their own tongue. Everyone has their own way of playing. There's no right or wrong with any of this stuff. But the way to go is to try and find your own path through it all by working on it for yourself. All the answers lie in the past. Everything you need to know is on the records. And that's the beauty of it all. So I'm at 25 minutes and I'm going to say hasta la vista, sayonara. Johnny Lippiett signing out.